This comment is super deep, and I'm gonna just yes and the level of deepness. The context is that there is a person who's offended by critical race theory, the 1619 Project, instances of the history of the United States being demonstrably racist. And noting, for the sake of escalation, that this discussion of slavery and the history of the United States often is omitting the fact that this country was founded on the systematic extermination of the people who were already living here. So the comment says that someone has an underdeveloped self-identity such that when their country feels attacked, they feel personally attacked. A philosopher actually talked about this 200 years ago. G.W.F. Hegel wrote an essay that punched me in the heart when I read it as an undergraduate. Its translation is changed many ways, but it's often called the master-slave dialectic, which we would contemporarily say the master-enslaved dialectic or some other translation. But Hegel uses the same language that you are using, the language of self-identity, of self-consciousness. Simply put, people want to have an independent self-identity. They want to have an independent self-consciousness. But people in relationships of oppression and power, people who are dominating others, lack that self-consciousness because their relationship to their own identity, their sense of self, comes from putting other people down. It's like the emotional insecurity of the bully. The bully doesn't have an identity unless the bully is bullying someone else. So yes, this white commenter who's upset when the racial history of the United States is called out is experiencing their sense of self being fractured. So Hegel asks, what happens to the master when the enslaved person finally rebels or leaves? They are left in a pitiable psychological state. They have no sense of identity. When Bryan Stevenson says that we need a truth and reconciliation committee, when we need a racial reckoning, this is part of what is meant. White America needs to not only wake up, but pick up the pieces of itself after awakening.